Welcome, Banks. Go gig it. How are you guys doing?
What's
Welcome.
up,
This is
guy?
episode number 2 of the Gig Gab Show. I am Dashing with John, and he is,
The dashing investor.
and we are here to help and talk about many topics in the gig world, some prepared. And if you guys have any things you guys want to discuss, let us know in the chat also. But we start our show always with a recap of our week, just to kind of touch base with you guys, show you how we're doing in our areas. Rideshare Lisa. Guys, don't forget to like the lives too, by the way. Those help a lot. All right. You want me to go first or you want to go first, investor?
Yeah, go ahead and go first, and I'll get mine pulled up.
All right. So far this week, well, not so far, the week is over. I made $661.14. I did 75 deliveries. I was off Wednesday and Thursday. My kid was sick. So I'm actually impressed I hit that number, to be honest with you. But still, only 75 deliveries, 661. I'm happy with that considering I didn't work at all Thursday and Friday. And I'm also happy with that considering I did EBT all day today, which was a new thing I tried. And I did EBT for about 2 hours yesterday. So I had part of that was about 7 hours on EBT.
Nice.
Thank you so much, Rideshare Lisa. I appreciate that. But yeah, that's basically how my week was. And I'll tell you, I ended the week also at, wow, a 485 customer rating. Something happened there. An 81% acceptance rate, 94% completion, and 97% on time rating. Um, Someone rated me a 2-star. I wish they would tell you why. But hey, I'm still way above where I need to be. And that might get removed considering they try to exclude your worst order depending on what the circumstance was. So yeah,
That
that was my stats for the week, everybody.
right. Sounds good. Sounds good. My weekly earnings was $778 and 16 cents. Took me about 46 hours and 13 minutes with 95 deliveries. In my market, the 1st through the 8th is pure fire. The rest of the month, still pretty solid, but this is what I call an off week when everyone doesn't have as much money as they have 1st through the 8th. So yeah, still pretty solid week. Had some ups and downs throughout the week. But yesterday and today, actually yesterday, started very slow and then started heating up at the end of the day. And then today was pretty solid all day long. So yeah, I finished with $778.16 for the week.
And I forgot to say my hours I worked was 2811 dash time and 22 hours active time in the 661 I made. So
Okay. And
yeah,
my and my ratings
yeah.
finished 78% acceptance rate, 97% completion rate, 97% on time. I got a 4.92 customer rating because somebody gave me a 1-star because I did not communicate they feel enough to them. So yeah, I
They,
guess
they,
I didn't ask them how their day were going and
you, you didn't open their bag up for them and all that stuff.
yeah, you know, yeah. Huh. The order got there on time, so I don't know. I'll have to ask them that next time, and that'll add on to the communicating to them.
And before we get going, if there's anyone that's actually subscribed to both of us, wants to jump in, tell us how you did real quick on your work week or anything like that, or tell us down in the chat how much you made a week. We try to make this the most interactive show. We'd like to get you guys up here.
All right, Princess. As
Princess.
always. Definitely.
Go Gig It.
$804.
That's
Nice.
awesome. That's awesome, Princess. You killed it. You killed it this week. Um, Go Gig It Days ends at 5 a.m., he says.
Well, yep, and Gig It there, he always jumps on the screen with us when he can and rocks along with us and goes hard.
And
So we
that's much appreciated.
yes, sir. Appreciate that he stops by.
So, anything you guys in the chat want to talk about before we get into some of the things that we want? It's been a crazy week. Um, it's been slow. It's been busy. It's had its ups. It's had its downs. My weekend pushed me to EBT, and if anybody knows me and knows my thoughts on EBT, that's how bad my area was today. It drove me to. I did one order on earn per offer, and I was done.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah, that's crazy. But man, I mean, that first 2 hours was strong. $60 in that first 2 hours.
yeah, that first 2 hours brought me in $60 on earned by time, and it definitely didn't do that in the end. But I can't believe I made over $100 in earned by time. The last time I did earned by time, I did it for 7 hours and made like $60. So
Yeah,
to make over 100, way more than I thought I'd make.
yeah, definitely. Sounds like my market. Yeah, when I switched to earn per offer, I literally doubled my income from earned by time. So, but I'm gonna test it out. That was probably like a good 10 months ago. So I'm gonna try
Yeah.
it out again, just to see if some things have changed since then.
Well, yeah, and I told you like what I was trying out with the EBT, and I mean, everybody go watch my video I came out with today. There's a big Easter egg in it, a spoiler at the end of it of the real reason why I did EBT. So check out the video for me, like it, share it. Yeah, there's a reason why I went to EBT, and if you watch till the end, you'll know exactly why, and then try it yourself. Princess's rating was a 4.95. 81% acceptance rate, 100% completion percent, 100% um
Completion. Yeah, AR is 81. Yeah,
yep.
100% completion rate and 83% on time or early. All
Got
right,
you.
all right.
Princess is making me look bad. I'm telling you, she's killing it out there. She is the
Queen hustle for
that's what
real.
I'm talking about. Dash
Nice,
Slayer right there, boy.
nice, nice.
um let's see. Richard.
What's going on, Richard?
Well, thank you for coming in, Richard. We appreciate that very much. I hope he does. Um, anything else you want to talk about before we get into our first subject? And that will be adapting to the market slash DoorDash changes.
All right.
So who wants to take this first?
Well, I guess if you visit our lives every day, um, me and John, we have a similar strategy where we like to stay over 70%. But now, since DoorDash is going into raising the bar on these tier programs, even though our market is not in the tier program, we are actually preparing for it. So we're both trying to stay over 80% because they will drop those new tiers and rules on you out of the sky. So we don't want to be caught in a bad place when it comes to our market. So we've both been trying to stay over that 80% and be ready to adapt to that change.
All right. I'll give you some examples, everybody. Like when I say adapting to your market, that means like if your market starts to change. It's like that dashing investor, how his is busy from the first through the eighth because it's a military town. And he knows he goes harder in the first through the eighth and works longer because he's going to make more money and he needs to supplement that money because the rest of the month isn't trash by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not as good. So what could be, I don't know, maybe $1,000 week, the first through the eighth, and maybe it becomes for the rest of the weeks, maybe 760, 780. Um, he just goes out and tries to make that little extra money. That's one example of adapting to your market. For me, I've done a lot of studying, a lot of writing down on paper how much money I've made, when I've made it, what day I've made it, and I've studied all that. And I'll just tell you now, like in my area, I know not to work Sundays. Now, with the caveat, I think I might have just tripped into something and working Sundays on EBT. I'm going to try it again for a couple more Sundays to see if today was a fluke. But if I can do earn by time on Sundays, then I'll go back to working Sundays because before that, Sundays was just not good. Going and working from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, not a great idea. You will make in my area $15 in those 2 hours, maybe 20, but still not good. You got to find out what you guys, where your good areas are, the times, and adjust to that. And like he said, with adjusting to DoorDash, I've been doing DoorDash 5 years. I've had a lot of DoorDash changes. First, there was no criteria on the ratings. They had them, but you didn't get punished no matter what anything was. And then a couple of years later, and they throw in the top dasher, and they're like, "Okay, guys," it was their way to make sure people all weren't at like 6%. They said, "Hey, if you want to be able to not schedule, because you know how much of a pain in the ass that is scheduling, you can get to 70%, have a 4.70 customer rating and a 95% completion percentage, and you too can dash whenever you want." And then we don't have the tier program like he was saying, but we already know what's coming. Like when we get the tier program, we're not going to get that first one where it's 70% like the top dasher and it's done. We are going to get the updated tier program when we get it. And we're making sure we're ready because one, if it drops on a Wednesday and any of our stats are below, then we're screwed for that week because each one of us is missing a piece to be in the platinum program 100%. Um, like he's missing the completion percentage, or not completion. He's missing the AR, and I'm missing the completion percentage. So like those are all the ways you adapt to what's going on with DoorDash because they're going to throw more changes. They came out with the 90%. If you drop below 90%, they're deactivating you on your completion percentage. Um, Eventually, I'm pretty sure they're going to come out with if you get below 50% acceptance rate, they are going to deactivate you. Like I'm sure that's coming at some point because all roads lead to no more picking and choosing overly what orders you want to do and don't want to do. Like DoorDash over years, they have adjusted and adapted to us. So we now need to adjust and adapt to them. So it's just everyone adapting to everybody. And
Exactly.
we have to be smarter than them while they try to be smarter than us. Um, but that's my personal belief of how you have to change and adapt. Because if you don't,
Hmm.
you will find yourself at the bottom. You will find yourself looking up and you will find yourself questioning whether this is worth it, whether you need to do something else, whether it's another gig app, which I highly recommend. Just because we don't do it doesn't mean you guys shouldn't. Like if you guys can do good on multi-apping, then all power to you, 100%, because that's well needed in a lot of people's areas. And let me know, Princess, what I haven't seen Pedro's new video yet. What's it about? Um, but yeah, so like that's the ways you got to try to deal with DoorDash because DoorDash is going to keep doing things until they get what they want. And what they want is probably everyone at about an 85% acceptance rate, above a 90 completion percentage. And I don't think they care about your other ratings. I know it goes into your stats, but the ones they care about the most are your acceptance rate and your completion percentage. Because if those two are good, and if they're at like 85% where they want it and 95 to 97%,
A lot is being delivered at that point.
Absolutely. And then that will bring me to my next topic. Well, yeah, that actually is a good transition to my next topic when I bring it up. But yeah, did you see Pedro's new video? I haven't.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I don't really watch. I mean, I catch Pedro some. It's just hard. Um,
With everything else we got going on. So
yeah, yeah. But that'll go and bring me back to this part real quick because DoorDash having what you want to do brings me to this. And this is why is there oversaturation and how to deal with it. And I will jump into this one because this was kind of my topic. He'll kind of say what he needs to say about it. But obviously, we know why there's oversaturation in a lot of people's markets. It's because what happens when your local Walmart has a lot of work to do and not enough employees? They hire people. And your local McDonald's and your local warehouses, when they have too much work and not enough people, they hire people. Well, unfortunately for us, well, for the people in the oversaturated market, it's oversaturated because a lot of people aren't taking that bull jive orders. Therefore, DoorDash is keeps putting more and more and more and more people in that market, hoping that the new drivers who don't know any better will do it. And there's where the over that's why the and I don't blame the people who aren't taking the bull jive orders. I get it. But that's why there's oversaturation, 100%, because there's way too much orders that are being left that are not being done, not delivered. And DoorDash is like, yep, keep pumping new people in here until we get the numbers where, because DoorDash, I think, has got to be at somewhere like a 93 or 94% delivery rate in every market. Like it's somewhere they for them to hit their numbers and not to continue to hire more and more drivers in that specific market. I think they have to have a 93 to 94% delivery rate in that area. Because my market doesn't have people coming in. We have a waiting list. My market has had a waiting list three
wow.
years, 3 years, which tells me everybody in my market pretty much is hitting that 93 to 94% delivery rate goal that DoorDash has. And that's telling them we don't need to hire nobody. We don't need to hire nobody in his area. And I'm lucky for that because I don't, I battle enough drivers as is, but I don't know how I could do this in an oversaturated market. And I think I can. I'm pretty sure I can, but I don't want to find out.
Right.
Um,
It'll be really hard to make it full time at that point. Side hustle, extra money, yes, no problem. But it would be very hard to do it at full time. And like you say, it gets saturated so they can get all those orders, deliver all those lower orders. And who do those lower orders most of the time? New drivers, because quite frankly, don't know any better. I know I didn't know any better in the beginning. I was literally taking every single order that hit my phone until I started catching on. So yeah, the more you're not taking those orders, more DoorDash gonna pump them new drivers in there, and you're gonna eventually get oversaturated. So
and yeah, and I agree, Princess. I mean, 100%. Um, Nobody wants to take those bad orders, and I don't blame anybody for not taking them. It's just on DoorDash's metrics, they're like, well, we have to be at this percent. And if we're not hitting that percent, we got to keep pumping people in. And instead of DoorDash paying a little more for those, and I'm sure they do pay more for some of the orders, but some of the orders that they still pay more that still don't get taken, if there's that percentage, then they're going to keep popping in new people and until because also we all know we all used to be door dashers newbies. We know how good they make it look for 2 weeks to a month. What would normally be a $4 order for us veterans, they make it look like a $9 order for the
mhm,
newbie. They get them all hooked in, they
yeah,
get them all feeling good, and then boom.
exactly, exactly. Yeah, go gig it. You have a $250 referral fee. Yeah, right now I have a $900 referral fee, and the person, the new driver, they get $600 So I think my market, again, I'm in a military market. Literally, our market changes every June. So we could go from 1 year with a lot of Door Dashers to literally when June comes, half of the Door Dashers are gone because they've been shipped off with the military families going to a new town. So every year we change. So obviously this year with those big referral fees, DoorDash is short on drivers in my military market. So
yeah, we can hear you, investor. You look a little frozen on my side, though. I still hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
Well, what do you need, Michael? I'm gonna let that comment go. If you got something serious to say, go ahead and say it. If not, see you later.
Yeah, I'm still frozen.
Yeah, you're still frozen, buddy.
Okay, let me see if I leave and come back. What will happen?
Oh yeah. I mean, those alcohol orders are super tricky, Princess. Super tricky, like 100%. Because you have to worry about the alcohol being ordered, then you got to worry about what's going on with it.
Okay, can you see me moving now? Can you see me?
Can everyone still hear me? I want to make sure I'm still here for all you guys before I keep talking.
Okay. All righty, Lisa. John, can you hear me? Can you see me? Maybe it's on John's end. We have technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So Max, so does door dashing full time embarrass you at times? It does not embarrass me, not one bit. I love door dashing. It's super flexible, stress free. Yeah, I have no problem door dashing full time. Can you hear us, John?
Yeah, I may have. Max, what's going on?
Yeah, maybe that was on your end, John.
It very well could have been. But yeah, back on what I was saying about the alcohol orders, it can be it can be difficult if you have, like, I've had drunk people that I've had to refuse alcohol to. I've had ones where no one was home. Um, and I get some people are trepidatious about going to someone who's been drinking and that are under the influence, and you tell them that drunk person they can't have their alcohol. Um, they depending on where you're at, that can make for a pretty messy situation. So I don't blame anybody for doing it. And Max O'Keefe, real quick, I saw. I've been doing this 5 years, and it doesn't embarrass me one bit that I do this full time because I do this better full time than a lot of people do their jobs. Like I make good money. My hours are flexible. I ain't got the boss or the machine breathing down my neck, telling me what to do, when to do it, how to do it. I like it a lot, and I can do this part time and make full time money. So, like for me, it's a great job, and I love it, and I will rock this job until the wheels fall off.
Yeah, I guess I can understand that, Max. So he said he's done it full-time dash as well. And honestly, sometimes I feel that way. No, I don't think there's no reason why you should feel embarrassed. You putting food on the table, you getting your bills paid with it. People like to say get a real job, but as far as I'm concerned, it is a real job. You're riding around in your car, listening to your music, or talking to a friend, or like we do, we're on lives with a bunch of great people. I mean, it's paradise to me. So
And not only, yeah, not only that, everybody has a lot in life. Everyone's got to do something. You got the people at the McDonald's that make our food, that make the food. You got the people at the warehouse that put together the parts to whether they're cars, plastic, whatever the case may be, so they can be put out and sold. And this is real money because we spend our money, we pay real taxes on our on our on our jobs. Now, if we weren't paying taxes or something, then we could talk about multiple different things. But as long as you're paying your taxes, this is a 100% real job. I am sorry you feel that way because you shouldn't, because everybody does something in this world. And that's why those businesses are in place and people to do the job, no matter how low on the totem pole people perceive them to be or how high up. Um, so like, yeah, it's nothing.
yeah, totally agree.
Um, Average, the IRS knows about 65 for me. It can be bigger, it can be smaller, it just depends. But that's an average.
Yeah, and I've only been doing it for like 11 months, so I only did what about 7 months. I worked last year, so I haven't worked a full year yet. But yeah, uh, pretty good pay. Like I say, flexible, stress free. Yeah, I love it. And the last time I checked, people who say go get a real job and all of that, they're not paying my bills, so I don't really care about their opinion, quite frankly.
Yeah, unfortunately, what I realized about this job while we're on this subject is you have to have thick skin because apparently before I joined YouTube, I didn't really understand how people look down on drivers, whether it be customers, whether it be just people who don't do this job and who don't understand it. But usually the people who knock this job are people who don't understand it. Like, and they don't know either how it is to work in a tip based business, like a waitress, a delivery driver, or no, bartenders get paid more, but all these other jobs that depend on their tip. They don't understand it because they've never done a job like that, and they're ignorant, and I have no time for ignorance. So like I understand there's ignorant people in the world. I'm okay with that. And I let them go in their world. I'll be off here in my community with my people that are positive and no negative. So that's how I look at all that. And so don't worry about what anyone else says. It ain't nothing about no lazy. It's not about having a real job. Like, you know how hard it is, guys? Like everybody in here is either drivers or it's not easy to drive 8 hours in 90-degree weather or 20-degree weather in the snow, in the rain. Like the heat will wear it out of you. I've been more tired doing this job, driving 8 to 10 hours in 90-degree weather than I did sitting in a warehouse at 70, 80 degrees.
Yeah, it's surprising how when I was started doing it, I was like, man, but I mean, getting in and out of that car, you just don't realize how much wear and tear that is on your body and how tired you are at the end of the day.
Yeah, I
For sure.
mean, but I guess we will go on to the next topic. Um, Let me see. All right, this is a good one. And I'm gonna let you start with this one. And balancing your work and personal life. And I will say this before I hand it over. That is something very important. That is something that everybody needs to be able to do. Find that happy balance. Um, unless you're just the college kid who's chilling, or you just graduated high school and you're trying to figure out what you're doing and you're still chilling at mom and dad's. Then I guess you
Right.
ain't got to you got to balance work life with the video game life or basketball life or whatever it is.
What you got going on? Yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, this is something I struggle with, balancing work and the personal life. Good thing, I mean, my wife, we got, she met me way before, like we've been together like 26 years now. So she knows me. When she met me, um, she know I want to work. I want to make money. I'm freaking just a born hustler. So she know what she got into. But at the same time, I do need to make time for my son and my wife. But I do struggle with that. But I do have an understanding wife. She knows what she got into. But it's very, very important to make time for your family. And I'm still working on that. But I've gotten a lot better. I've gotten a lot better as I aged to make more time. It's not all about making money all the time. You want to take the time, you want to make those memories with your family, especially if you have any kids, give them some good memories uh, to remember later on in life. So yeah. So yeah, that's I'm still working progress on that myself, but I do realize it's super important. So
Yeah. Um, yeah, I will tell you this, everybody. I have a wife who loves her husband and would love to see her husband a lot more than she does. I get bailed out a little bit during the week because she works until 5 o'clock. And anybody who knows me, I'm allergic to the evening shift. Unless it's for content, I don't work the evenings. Or it's like birthday, Christmas, anniversary, something important. Um, but on the weekends is where my problem is. My wife is off. She would love to see me. And I work from 7 in the morning until 3, 4 o'clock in the evening. By the time I get home, it's time for me to start doing dinner and everything else. And by the time the kids the kids laid down, I get taken care of with myself, cleaned up, whatever. It's about 8 o'clock. And then I get up the next day at 6 o'clock in the morning to do it all over again. So I'm asleep by like 9:30, 10 o'clock. And then my wife is like, remember me. So that's when I like take off a couple hours early on the weekend. And I'll be like, thank you very much, Max. I'll take a couple hours early off and make sure I spend some good time with her, quality time. Um, I have been thrown a curveball though, because it was already hard for me to balance work and personal life. Now I am balancing work life, personal life, and YouTube life. And that one is a tricky one because I've have it in me that I don't touch YouTube in the evenings. I don't create nothing. I don't do anything for thumbnails. I don't do anything for nothing. When I get home in the evenings, I do absolutely nothing with YouTube, which gives me only the weekends, which is again the tough time because that's usually when my wife wants to spend some time with me. So I'm not very good at this. And my wife, if she was right here, would give me an amen. Um, I'm not good at it. I'm trying to get better. And I always look at her and say, well, I made this much money. And she's like, I don't give a damn about your money. I want you. So yeah, she don't care about the money unless she needs her nails done. Then she's like, why you home? It's 4 o'clock. Why ain't you out there? I got nails that need to be done.
that's right.
That's
That's right.
that's that's no lie either. That's a
We
true
all
story.
know about that. Yep.
My kids are grown. I was doing a W-2 when I raised them. Now I'm doing gig work and enjoy it. That's awesome, Rideshare. Because
Definitely.
I've raised three daughters. They're all adults and they're grown. I have the 10-year-old that acts like she's a grown, but I've been able to do gig work because uh, she needs her daddy a lot more than she needs money. So I managed to find a way to make the money we need and spend the time with her. Like I don't have any problem balancing the daughter life. My hard time is balancing the the wife.
Yeah. I know how it is.
How about you guys? Do you guys have any trouble balancing the kids and the work life and personal life? Or you guys got that pretty much down pat? Because it's been 5 years for me and I still can't manage to do
Yeah.
it. I don't think I ever will be, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I like making money.
Yep.
Like,
And always looking for something else to stick my hand in. So
yeah.
it's going to be a battle the rest of my life.
Well, hopefully it's a long and prosperous life, and the wife didn't like because you wouldn't spend some time with her because you wouldn't take her to that movie. I like it. Yeah, because I like how you said your wife had kidnapped you because she wanted to spend some time with you.
Yeah.
And then you're because I'm the same way. Like you were obviously it didn't help that you didn't have a great time, like as far as what you were there to go do.
It was terrible. Yeah.
But you, in the back of your mind, you're probably thinking, man, you know how much money I get. This is
Oh,
the first
what?
through the eighth.
In the first, you took it right out of my mouth. It was the first through the eighth too, and we're at some aquarium. I mean, and guys, if you ever in North Carolina and in Wilmington, do not go to Wilmington's aquarium. It is the worst aquarium I've ever seen. It, like he said, it's a fishbowl. I mean, I could have created it at the house. I mean, it was terrible.
Could have went to PetSmart in the morning and worked in the afternoon.
It saw, yep, exactly. I would have saw more at PetSmart. You know, it was terrible.
I understand that. We went to vacation a couple weeks ago. We went to the Great Wolf Lodge. Amazing place, packed, a lot of shit to do. It was great, good time. But I tell you, it wasn't even in the back of my head. In the front of my head, I'm thinking, you know how much money I'm losing right now? Like I calculated up, I lost $550 by taking a 2.5 day vacation.
Yep.
And that doesn't count the money that I spent. So I just know. My mind is always on work, and it shouldn't be, but I can't help it because I'm always trying to make sure we got everything we need and try to get one up on the next day.
Exactly.
But yeah. Well, here's a good one. I'm gonna let you start with this one.
Yeah. I've always been big on setting goals. From day one of me, starting a business. You got to set your goals. I know you have your big vision in your head, but you got to set those little goals, those little milestones to reach that big goal. So yeah, I've always been big on that. I have my little notebook and paper and just kind of write down my blueprint on how I'm gonna reach that big goal. And pertaining to DoorDash, my goals will change. You know, the first through the eighth, when it's great in my market, I'll have a $200 a day goal because I know I'm going to be able to easily reach that. Now, the rest of the month, it may drop down to maybe $100 in that same amount of time, or $150 in that same amount of time. But I'm going to stay out there until I reach that goal, because usually I have something I want to do with that money that I've already set up for the month. So I have to hit those milestones. I have to hit those goals no matter what. Even if I have to stay out an extra 4 hours, that's just what I will do. And lots of times, if I hit the goal fast, I'll still stay out. And that'll kind of average out maybe some of those other days. But at the end of the month, I want to have a certain goal reached. And anything in life, like right now, we got a little weight loss challenge going. I hate to call it a challenge because really nobody loses. But yeah, we have our we have our goals set, what we want to lose weekly and where we want to be in a few months. So yeah, set them goals, guys, and don't let nobody get in the way of you reaching your goals. And quite frankly, I mean, if them people can't support you in your goals, well, there's a problem there. So yeah, I've always been real big on setting those goals, and no matter what, don't just set them, reach them, no matter what. Uh, yeah,
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. But I'll go into a little more in depth on how I get my number for my goals. My bills don't change outside of maybe gas. My bills are what they are. So I plot my bills out and I see how much I have for the month that I need to pay. And then I take that, hey Stephanie, and then I divide that by however many days there are in a month. And then that is what I need to make just for the bills. Now, that doesn't count the gas. That doesn't count like the things I like to do, like smoke. Thank you for liking the live. I appreciate you. For anything I personally like to do, I include those in also with the bills, divided up by how many days are in the month. And that tells me how much money I need every day because I work every day. So, like, my goal personally is 130 every day. Now, mathematically, it's only 110 110 a day, but that figures in only 5 days a week that I work. Hey, Deanne, I work 7 because I want to have about $1,500 more than I spend out because you never know what can happen. You never know when you're going to need money, whether it's a vehicle thing going on, a kid thing going on, a youth thing going on. Like, it's always good to have that little bit of extra money. Like, for the vehicle, I take out $20 every time I work. That's that's my vehicle fund. That doesn't get touched. That is what it is. It sits there, and I've had to have help from my mother-in-law before on my car. Try not to have any, not try not to have that again. But so that's why I did because I wasn't very smart when it came to the vehicle. I was like, oh, I'll just have it one. And then, hey, guess what? You need a new struts. You need brakes, and brakes aren't cheap. Um, so like I even got smart into it and was like $20 a day every day you work. That it isn't even your money anymore. That's the car money. Um, and if I make what I make goal wise every day, it's my bills are paid and then some. So like,
really.
and you just don't stop until you make it. Like, and there's days before I met Investor, like I was only working until 11:30, 12 o'clock max because I was hitting my 130 or 150 by 10:30, by 11, by 11:30, by 12. One day I hit 200 by 11 and quit. And now that I've teamed up with Investor, my money's went up a little bit just because we kind of push for motivation and we try to stay on top of each other, whether when we're feeling crappy about how the day's going, or if we just kind of hit that wall, like the other one pushes the other one kind of over that wall to keep them going. And
Exactly.
that's what I like the most about doing this with Investor because Investor's a very motivational person. I can be given the moments, but my man comes out of bed rubbing them hands at 6:30 in the morning.
Gotta get it.
So, but do other of you guys set goals? Like I see Princess says she has a goal between 130 and 200 a day. Any other dashers in here or gig workers that set goals like that? Um, are we the only ones? I mean, it can't be, but I'm just curious if you guys do set it up like you get your bills and you figure out what you need and how many days you're going to work a month and you just divide it up and that's what you go do. I mean, is that kind of how you do it, Investor? You kind of take a peek at your bills, see what you got, and
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Um, I use my DoorDash money for different things, so I definitely budget out for the month. Make sure I hit those goals, what I want to spend it on for the month. So definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, Gig Wars. I hear that. Yeah, I definitely didn't. I hit a $200 day. My fat ass is looking for the first place closest to my house. Deuces. I'm home. But that works for me and my bills. Like that works for me
Right.
and my bills. Like
Exactly.
something tells me if investor trips into a $200 day by
Oh yeah.
10,
Oh
30,
yeah.
11, investors going home and relaxing on the couch.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be shocked if I hit a 200 day that quick. I don't know. I might have to go for 300 then. Have to see what the
Depends
rest of the day are bringing.
depends on how the previous day was.
Yeah.
Oh, Deanne, you dash for extra income. That's awesome too. Because like I said, this is good full-time money in some areas, depending on what you need. This can be great for side money. Again, that kind of depends on what area you live in and what you need. I've heard bad stories about DoorDash not being busy in other areas. Um, I believe it. I don't see it personally. Like I've had bad days, but I've never like had like $700 in like 2 weeks because I've heard stories like that where people are trying to get at it and only making like $700 every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Um, whoa, you're almost at 300 for the day, 293 yesterday. Well, Red, you go
Nice.
get that money, as
Nice.
investor says.
Yes, sir. Real
That
nice red.
that's awesome. Yeah, like yeah, and it's like I said, it helps that you have two highly motivated people in here, but it is easy to kind of hit that wall. It is easy when things are going crappy to just be like, man, I'll just come back out later. And and sometimes you do. And sometimes you don't. Like, which is always good when if you do take a break in the middle of work, it's always good not to take a break in the middle of a downslope. Because if you take a break and it's
Hard.
going down,
Mm-hmm.
75% of the time you ain't coming back out. Like 75%. You have that special 25% that can wipe their brain clean. And I've done it some and sometimes I can't. Um, so yeah, if you do a break, make sure it ends on a good note. Um, let me see. Yeah. So what's next, investor? I think we got, yeah, how you deal with customer interactions. And that can mean a lot of things. Like obviously how that for customer interaction starts when you hit the button and accept their order. Like that is 100% when your customer interaction starts with the customer. Like so you don't be like Dashing Investor, not communicate enough and get a 1-star
Get a
rating.
1-star rating. Exactly.
Yeah. Um um hey, just checked out. But the minute you accept that order, if you go in there and you notice that it might take a minute or a couple minutes, it's good to shoot the customer a text. Hey, it's going to be a minute. Be there when I can. Whatever the case you want to text them. I've never really done this, but I'll tell you what, it's a great idea by Go Gig It, and I'm honestly surprised I've never done it. But Go Gig It, as soon as he gets the food, he texts the customers, "Hey, I have your food, and I am on the way," and he gives that extra layer of communication. Maybe that's what you were missing, investor.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
next layer.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest with you. I probably am gonna try it to do it some. I might not do it all the time, but I'm gonna try to do it some just to see if it helps on the rating side. Maybe the couple thumbs down I got for not having communication is because of something simple like, hey, I'm on my way with your food. Like especially if I communicated with them, it's gonna be a minute. I'll be there when I can. Then maybe I should follow up with the got your food on my way. And maybe I don't. Also, hot bags are a must, because that's part of the interaction, because it is the customer's food. And if it stays hot, that interaction then plays out on your rating. And whether that food's hot or not is going to depend on the rate. And sometimes it ain't our fault. Sometimes that order could have been sitting at the place for 10, 15 minutes, not where it's supposed to be, and cold as hell. And we can't do anything about that. And of course, when it comes to the customer, we're the last person they see. We're the last interaction they have with their food. So, of course, we're going to be the ones that get the bad rating, whether it's our fault or not. So, and then when you get there, obviously make sure that you're doing what their instructions tell you, whether it's telling you walk around the back of the house, up 2 flights of stairs, down a flagpole. And never mind, that was something. Sorry, that was just an order I had the other day. Made me mad. Sometimes these customers can be very, 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 and these are the ones that are probably giving you your bad ratings. They can be very, very detail oriented about their drop off. And if it is not specifically followed from point A to point Z, from walking through their front yard, 3 steps to the right, jump over the lily pad, go to the left, go up the right side of the stairs, jumping jacks 3 times, knock on the door twice, and do it backwards, going out the yard.
You don't get it right, you got a 1-star rating. That's the truth.
I mean, so like you have to follow those things 100%.
Try to be creative, even when you communicate. Like say, go gig it. And if my ratings get, I don't use it all the time, but I even send my customers rhymes. And I have a breakfast, lunch, dinner rhyme that I send them. So my ratings tend to get low. And actually, when I send it, lots of the times they'll throw in that extra tip. So yeah, just try to be creative. Also, when you're communicating, try to stand out with the customer. I heard people who will send a GIF, as in a GIF, or some kind of picture to brighten a day to make a customer laugh. Any way to try to be creative. So just try to set your mind, because anything will bring a tip and a better rating. So yeah, I think I'm gonna pull out some of my old tricks out the bag, because I'm down to 4.91 now. So
Go Giga said I just described the cheat code for the game Frogger. But I used to do these thank you stickers, and I'd put Dasher and my name, so they didn't think it was the store's name, the store that put the thank you. I wanted to make sure that they knew I did it, and because that's important. Like the little things, it really is the little things. And sometimes as people, especially dashers, everybody, gig workers, we're trying to move, that occasionally we sometimes forget just the small. Like we're too worried about, hey, I got their food and it's at their door. And we kind of miss the minute things here and there once in a while. And I guess for me, I need to find out why my 4.85 is why it is, because for 4 months I was on a 4.92, and all of a sudden over the past month my ratings, now one of them I understand why. I accidentally left their drink in my back seat. No problem. They didn't get their food order correctly. That's on me. I put it in my back seat. I don't see it. I'm trying to move quickly. That's on me. But the other ones, I don't have any drinks in my back seat today. So we're good there. Everyone got their food on time. And anyone who didn't, I absolutely communicated the shit out of with them to make sure they knew what they were getting, when they were getting it, how it was going to get got. So, but
we
yeah,
all know we can't make everybody happy, no matter how perfect you are. You just have some of those people, like you say, they want perfection, and if they feel like you didn't reach their level of perfection, they're gonna rate you low. So
now I'm also will say this, everybody, if there's anybody down there that subscribe to both me and the investor, if you're a gig worker, non-gig worker, some of the things that we're talking about. Can you hear me?
Yep, good to go.
And you want to discuss some of the things we're talking about, click on the link and jump in a box and tell us what you think. And if you have anything you guys want to talk about also, this is also about you guys. Let me fix my thing real quick. You take it over for 1 minute.
Okay. Yeah, like you said, yeah, if you guys have anything else that you want to talk about in the chat, please put it down or hit the link, jump in the chat with us. We're all in this thing together. And that's why we have this show. Anything that you're experiencing out there, so we all can discuss it, and because we all experience similar things out here.
Absolutely. And this show really is for you guys too. Like, we want to hear from everybody. We want to hear your experiences. We want to hear some of your opinions on what we've talked about. And if you've got something else you want to talk about, the platform is yours. You join the box, tell us what's going on. And which would be great. So until then, okay, I just saw a bunch of clothes fly down my basement stairs.
It's nobody breaking in your house, is it?
No, just my wife threw about half our laundry down the stairs. It's kind of weird to see it just come flying down.
She's fed up with the laundry today.
Yeah. Oh, address change after an alcohol order. Well, I know you say you don't do many alcohol orders, and it's been a while, but what would you do with an address change with alcohol?
Yeah, that would kind of be a red flag to me. I'll probably immediately jump on support, because alcohol you definitely don't want to play no games with. So I would jump on support just to cover my butt, make sure nothing crazy going on, for sure.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of shady stuff happening with the address changes where dashers were actually being like attacked and everything on address changes on alcohol orders, but also just address changes in general. Like, I deal with some address changes that if they're done in the app, like a customer can catch it in the app still while I'm mid, that's no problem. But if a customer just messages me, hey, I need to take it to this address. Oh, I tell support and I'm like, yeah, this is where it's supposed to go. This is where they want it to go. This is the situation. And then I decide right there for myself whether I'm doing it or not. Like,
Exactly.
I'll do it, but I don't recommend other people. Like, I'll do it. I feel very comfortable. And I guess the one problem with myself is I just ain't scared of shit. So, like, I'll pretty much do whatever. But yeah,
And
I would.
I've had it where they'll change the address, and I'll actually take it to that address. But I've also had some where that address changed. I said, well, your food going to be at the address that you left in the app. It just depends how far it is sometimes, because most of the time it's something legitimate. They're not really trying to pull nothing. It's those rare times that something like that might be going on. But in my case so far, it's been legitimate. Probably half the time I took it to them. Half the time I said, well, I can't. I accepted the offer at this pay for this many miles. No, I can't go an extra 8 miles now for that same pay.
Yeah, like address changes that are the same mileage or less, I'm all for. But if we're talking like maybe a mile, maybe 2 miles over, I'm good. But once we're talking 3 miles and up,
yeah,
that's when I start to have a problem. And I'm on support with DoorDash on text because they get back with me real quick on text support. And within 2 minutes, DoorDash is either telling me they paid me more, or I'm telling the customer I'm leaving it exactly where it's at. Sorry, can't do it. Because at the end of the day, I sometimes think they do this sometimes to get a cheaper rate.
Of course.
because they know the mileage is shorter.
Of course.
Like
Mhm.
I've also had people though like meet me at addresses because they lived outside of a DoorDash delivery zone that they wouldn't even deliver to that spot. That was years ago. Apparently now I can deliver to the moon after today. 20 miles for $5.
Yeah,
That still hurts. It hurts my
that was
soul.
nuts. Yeah, that was nuts today. That was crazy.
Um, and Rob, you notify support so you get your pay adjusted. Well, sometimes they will, and sometimes DoorDash tries to play hardball. The minute usually I tell them this food's going to be left right where it's at, and the customer's not getting it because they put the wrong address, DoorDash either one says okay or they up the pay, but they got to do one or the other because I'm not doing it for the same pay, more mileage, and anything else
No,
like that. It's not happening.
no, not at all.
Whoa, just checked out, said he went 16 miles yesterday for $4. He knows the feeling.
Yeah, that's harsh.
Yeah. I thought like mine was a little worse, but that's still I
Yeah.
feel your pain, just checked out. Like that's and what's the farthest you've ever said you've had to deliver, investor?
Probably about 16 miles. They was running me all over town those first 2 to 3 weeks before I knew what I was doing. Yeah, I was just, man, all over town, every single run from one end of town to the other and then back. Yeah, I was a fool.
So you was carrying your red bag all nice and red, smile
Yep.
on your face walking in.
Exactly.
It's funny.
Something has to change. This can't be how it's supposed to be.
It's funny because you now look at other people, you start looking at dashers, and you can immediately see the new person because that new person's got that bright red bag.
Yep.
Go see that person the next month. They might not even own that red bag anymore. They just going in there.
Yep.
But for that
It don't
first
take
couple
long
weeks
to
to a
catch up.
month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it don't take long.
So anybody in here like doing earn by time regularly and not just doing it a little bit here and a little bit. Does anybody here like to do earn by time, say for 2 hours plus at a time? Because I don't. Um,
No.
yeah, no, I don't. But I did today. I did it all day. I was proud of myself, and I actually made decent money. I got my bright red bag a couple of days ago. Oh, just checked out. Said he only does EBT.
Wow.
Is it that good down there? And it's Florida, right? Where are you? I don't know. I'm losing track. Where do you?
I think it is. I think it is Florida. I think.
Yeah,
Correctly.
it better be Florida for only doing EBT because it can't be Kalamazoo. Oh, just checked out. Still on his first 50. That is new.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so he's still carrying the bag. Oh, Kentucky.
Okay.
And Deanne says it's more money than earned by hour. What to do? Earn by hour? You make more money doing that?
Wow.
That's crazy because that's not usually how it is here.
Oh,
I'll know later because I'm going to do more Sundays. Because Sundays, again, like I was saying, I don't work at all. I went out today. I earned by time. I made over $100. I didn't hit what I was supposed to hit, but very, very, very close. And I had things to do. Like I do try to give myself some allotted time.
and just checked out is from New York, Western New York.
Oh, Western New York. My bad. Just checked out.
Yep.
I can't read. He got old eyes, and I need hooked on phonics. So
I need to get some glasses too, John.
we're gonna get him some cataracts, and we're gonna buy myself some hooked on phonics.
No,
By
I
the
don't
third,
want cataracts.
by the by the by
That'll
the
be
third
worse.
by the third show, he'll be able to see, and I'll be able to read. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Well, I see why earn by time in New York now, because isn't that the only thing you can do in New York, or do they still let you switch ever since New York passed that law that did like making them like almost employees, or did make them you guys like gig workers employees? Um, yeah, I wish earn by time was that easy. Like if one, I wish earn by time pay in my area was better. It's probably like $18 to $20 in your guys' area. It's 12.25 in mine.
That
Um,
surprises me too, because your market is so great. I'm surprised they pay that low. Maybe that's why they pay so low.
it's because well, yeah, because we don't even have a referral.
Great.
Like
Yeah,
obviously, there's no referral in our area because there's a waiting list.
yeah.
Um, Deanne's in Georgia. Charlie, what's going on?
What's going on, Charlie?
And just checked out is base pay is $16 in New York, not
Wow,
Kentucky, but New York
New
is
York.
six. That seems like some Kentucky pay right there. I would,
Yeah, surprise.
yeah, I thought it'd be at least 20 if I'm gonna be really honest with you, upstate New York. Um,
Yeah, it's so expensive in New York. Surprise is 16. A couple more dollars in my little town of Fayetteville. Wow.
so I noticed that they added something at least on my phone, and I'm curious to see how accurate it is for you guys and gals. They added a thing on here that said like there's a little clock in my little corner of my screen, and it says 2 to 3 minutes or 6 to 11 minutes, and that tells you that's how long it'll be before before estimated time until you get an order. And I paid attention to that for the first couple days, and believe it or not, it's pretty accurate. Like today, it averaged about 4 to 7 minutes, and I don't think I waited longer than 7 minutes one time today. Do you have that investor on yours, that little clock?
No, we do not. No, we get everything late, man. It's like months later before we get things. Like you say, you've had that little leave at your door picture, you said, for months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've probably noticed it about 5 days ago. So, yeah, we get everything super late here. And like I said, I don't know if it's because our markets change and every year. I don't know, but we're super late to get everything.
Okay, so Charlie's got the clock, he said. Charlie, curious, have you paid attention to see if that time is accurate? Like whatever time it tells you between when you'll get your next order. Just checked out doesn't have it. Deanne, Lisa, do you guys have that when you DoorDash? That little clock that tells you, because it's brand new. It just came to me like 4 days ago. But is it correct, like Charlie? Like if it says like between 4 and 7 minutes, is it usually right on time? Do y'all get paid by cash? You mean cash on delivery? Deanne, if you're talking about cash on delivery,
Yeah,
no.
we can turn cash on delivery on and off.
We had cash on delivery for 7 months. 7 months we had cash on delivery, and they took it off.
Red had a few months ago and haven't seen it in a long time. It did not last long here. That's wow. It seems like it's just so random. Because Charlie, he's actually from my town, and he sees it and I don't. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So they just
Maybe
randomly even just testing it out. It's not. It doesn't even come down to everybody in one town has it. They just randomly testing it out.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm the cash on delivery, basically it's where you get the cash from them, and basically you owe DoorDash money. And there's a theory that DoorDash gives you better orders if you leave a balance. Like say you do an order and it's like $40, the negative, so to speak, that DoorDash will give you better orders to pay off the balance of what you owe them from cash on delivery. Um, But they got rid of cash on delivery in my area after 7 months, which tells me nobody did cash on delivery here, or something happened in my market that made them remove, because it's not even on there. I go to my screen, go to account settings where it used to be, where you could click it on and off. Cash
Yeah.
on delivery is no longer on there.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, Robert. Yeah. Out in California. Yeah, that dude cut down the chances of you getting robbed.
Well, yeah, because that's the other problem people worry about is they know if you're doing a cash on delivery, they know you might have cash on you. So
Mhm.
that ups the game. Like that's why taxi drivers got robbed, pizza delivery people from from
Mhm.
the pizza places. I mean, they were getting wherever delivered food, Chinese food. That's why a lot of things are done invisible now with cards, because it's not worth to rob somebody for their cash because you know they don't have them.
Yeah,
Like, no, I guess you still have idiots who try to do it,
of
and
course.
but um, but yeah, were you? Did you ever do a cash on delivery?
Yeah, I've in the beginning I did, and then it's kind of a hassle to do it. And you don't, they love to say, hey, you get the extra tips, and you do, but it really wasn't worth it. I just try to keep all the extra headaches out of this,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. I mean, that's why I didn't do shopping pays today, and that's why I only did one yesterday. Because is it just me? Give me a thumbs up in the chat. Do you guys ever get tired of doing shopping pays? Like I did 75 deliveries this week. 40 to 45 of them were were shopping pays.
Yeah,
Like at this rate, some Martins needs to be paying me money because I'm in their store like I'm an employee.
you do. Yeah, you get a lot of shopping pays, John. It's insane.
Like I've just had
But you get
enough
some
of.
good shopping pays though. But
Oh,
I get it. I get it. You definitely want to break sometime from it. So I totally get
yeah. They're just they're yeah, they can be. After a while, you get tired of getting in your car, go into the place for 5, 6, 7, 10 minutes,
it.
15 minutes, 20 minutes, checking out, loading back up, unloading the car, to then just get another one right back after that one. Um, yeah, Charlie, I do alcohol deliveries all the time. I probably do 1 to 2 a day.
And
Um,
I did a couple probably a good 10 months ago. I have not seen one alcohol delivery since then. So I don't know what's going on, but I haven't seen one since then.
and yeah, Princess, I love shopping pays too. I do. I love them. But when you do them for a year straight and you're doing them that much for a year, you need to break up the monotony a little bit, because I don't take days off unless my kid's sick or it's vacation time. Outside of that, I am working. So and make sure you guys, if you guys like the show, like I said, you can click the link. As long as you subscribe to both of us on this screen, you can jump in a box. We are here to talk about things that are on our mind, but you guys can also piggyback on what we're saying, or just talk about what's on your mind in your area with your experience. How is your gig journey going? Whether it's DoorDash, Uber Eats, Instacart, Spark, Roadie, Deliver That, um, all those other apps. Like this is for you guys as well. Like this is our platform, but you guys are the community that helped us have this platform. Because without all of you, it's just me and him talking to ourselves. Just checked out, said rumor is Uber Eats dispensary deliveries are on diamond orders.
Hmm.
That's interesting. I
And Rob, you say you do alcohol deliveries, but my wife doesn't. She just prefer not to do them.
and yeah, Tito, caviar was the best up in New York. Yeah, caviar went hard for a little while. They just didn't have the lasting power. Um, But Uber Eats is horrible in my area too. That's why I don't do it. It's on my phone. I have all of the apps I can have.
Yeah, it seemed like I hear Uber Eats is like terrible in a lot of people's market, actually.
Yeah. Like the only other good the only good other app to work in my area is Spark, the Walmart orders. And the bad thing about those is you get $25, $30, $20 orders somewhere around that mix, but you only get one an hour. And if you don't get it delivered and get back in time, then you miss out on the second order. So like that's the only bad thing about Spark, I would say. But if I had to, like if DoorDash was absolutely like taking a dump on my head, then yeah, I probably would go ahead and do it. But yeah. Anything else you want to discuss on your mind about anything, investor? People talking to chat too.
Yeah, anything y'all experienced. Anything crazy that you experienced. Like I say, we're all in this thing together, and you may experience something that we haven't experienced and something that we need to be looking out for,
Yeah, Princess. Yeah, Spark wasn't like that at first. I didn't have a toddler, but I had like my 6-year-old daughter at the time. And they tried to give me some pushback about having my 6-year-old kid with me while I was doing the delivery. I don't know what happened, but yeah, you can't have like kids from like 6 and under, and Walmart will straight
Really?
decline. Yeah, they will flag you on Spark, send you about your way, and you're done for the day and potentially done on the app because they report because when they decline it or when they take you off it, they got to give Spark a reason why they took you off the order. And they put had child. And then Spark Spark can be like, "Oh, really? That's against our those things you signed. That's against what you signed. So see you later. We've kicked you off the app." And Walmart's usually nice. They'll give you a warning, but they won't tell you more than once. If they have to tell you a second time, you got a chance to be getting taken off the app.
Wow.
And yeah,
it must be some kind of liability with the younger kids.
Something happened. I just don't know what. But for that to happen, something happened.
Definitely.
But and guys, remember, if you want to jump in, I know I've said this a couple times, but this really is also about you guys as well. We just know our areas, and we talk to most of you guys in our lives. We go live Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. till whenever we want to stop. And but for you guys who haven't been on here, this is a perfect time. Subscribe to both of us. Jump in the box.
Definitely. And Tito, I am from Fayetteville, North Carolina, military town of about Fayetteville and surrounding, about 350,000 population.
Oh, Tito, I have grays. Watch this. Like, I got plenty of gray hair. But I'm from Virginia.
Gray.
Well, I would say Investor got gray hair, but Investor ain't got no hair. I'm from Virginia.
I got some grays, definitely.
I'm from Virginia.
I'm 53, Tito, so.
Yeah, I'm from Virginia. I'm an hour and a half away from DC. It's like the fourth city away from DC. You got DC, you got Fairfax or Arlington, Fairfax, Ashburn, and then my town. So yeah, you do got us beat. Look like you got a skunk in your beard.
Yeah, I think you got us beat, bro.
Hold on. That didn't get me in phase 2, did it?
Oh, take it back. That was him, Robert. That wasn't me.
He laughed. He laughed.
In phase 1.
But But yeah, and I love doing it in my area. Like my area is truly a hidden gem. I'm an area that doesn't accept new Door Dashers. I'm an area that only has 30,000 people in the population, but a lot of that populate well, not a lot, but a part of that population has come down from DC. Jesus.
Oh,
But but I have people from DC that live here. They bring that government money here. So that helps with the tips. That helps with the everything. Like we do, it helps. Because the last thing they're trying to do when they drive home 2 hours from DC in rush hour traffic is go the hell home and have to cook something.
yeah.
So if they haven't already picked it up, they're ordering DoorDash on their phone and tipping their driver like a 10 piece to get them some food. So like I appreciate my town and it's really good. And yeah, I don't know what I would do if I was dashing somewhere else. I mean, maybe it would be good too, or it could be worse. Yeah, DC traffic is pretty horrible. I go to DC. I used to go to DC a lot. Um, and I've actually done DoorDash a little bit in DC. That's when I realized DoorDash is more for the bikes, scooters, and stuff like that because everything's being delivered within a square radius. Um, your population is 37,000, Princess? That sounds a lot like my town. That sounds a lot like my town.
Yeah. Well, yours is
Because
about 30, ain't it, John?
it's about 30 and some change, almost 31. And I got over 300 restaurants in my area. So like, and
That's nuts. That's nuts.
everything's packed. Like everything's tight. Like you'll have the orders that'll go out to like the county, like those bullshit ones like I did today. But for the most part, everything's staying within a like 8 mile radius. Like that's why sometimes I only go 70, 75 miles driving and can make 130, 140
That's nuts.
because it's not wide open like Fayetteville or St. Louis or Atlanta or where Hot Facts probably ain't here no more. He's probably doing an episode right now, putting my ass right on the hot seat. You will, people, guess what Dashing with John said? We put his ass on the hot seat. That's what we do here, people. Love Robert. Guys, if you guys ain't checked out Robert Reese, Hot Facts, he is the gig news. He's an awesome, awesome guy. We've become pretty good
Great
friends with.
content.
We've become pretty good friends with him. His wife is a sweetheart. We've talked to her very little bit, but we talk to her in the chat a
Yeah, we
lot.
love them. We love them.
Yeah. But you guys have anything else to talk about? You have three. Oh, Jesus. He has 3 zones in his metroplex.
Okay.
That's pretty big up there. 250,000 people. So that's why Earn by Time works there, is because there's so many people there. And it's expensive to live up there. So like that's the reason why
That's
Earn by
probably
Time.
the difference.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
because that's my town is actually a little bit bigger, and I think we have like four zones. But yeah, Earned by Time is pure garbage.
Tito,
So
you make 30. You do 30 mile. Tito says he does 30 miles a day to make $130 in 4 hours. Like I get the money part. The money part, okay, cool. I've done that. The miles? Are you selling cocaine?
that's on the regular,
Are you
or is
selling
that kind
cocaine?
of just a unicorn day? Was
Are
that
you,
that's on a regular basis?
are you dispensing cocaine?
Exactly. I'm not doing DoorDash.
Cocaine ash.
Yeah, that's nuts there. Yeah, exactly.
I could
Yeah, we might
understand.
need your bot over here on that one, Rob.
Yeah. Okay. It depends on where you. Okay. See, that makes a little more sense. Yeah, because he's in NYC, Brooklyn. they are pretty tight, I get, but still, that's
Yeah.
still.
Wow, that's nothing.
Do I need to go to New York City?
Sheesh.
I think we might need a field trip. I need
You
to
know,
see what that
right.
looks like one time. I didn't even
Sheesh.
know you. I didn't even know you could be driving like that though up in Brooklyn. I mean, I guess you can, but I mean, I thought shit
Depends
would
on
be.
the day but yeah, time I've been there, yeah, it's traffic is crazy.
Yeah, I've been to New York a couple times, and the last time I drove in there, I regretted it so much. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Soon as
everybody.
the light turn, they're on their horns blowing them at you.
Yeah, yeah. When are you doing another episode, Rob? So these lovely people can come and join you at any point, at some point. Besides checking out your videos, it's always better to check his stuff out live. You can check the replay out, which is fine, but it's always good to be interactive, whether it's with us, Robert. It's a different animal when you're here. And also, we have a link, StreamYard link. Oh, he does bike too.
Okay. Okay. From
Oh, his
time
car battery died in the middle of Times Square.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
probably
I know
fun.
that was fun. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
So we'll end the show like this. What are you guys' goals for next week? And I will start with myself, and I will tell you my goals are simply to work every day, to stay healthy, and to make my 130 plus every day. If I do that, and try to get my customer rating up, because that thing's really bothering me. Like half this live, I've been thinking about my 4.85. So I got to find a way to get that up. Um, but yeah, that's my goal for next week. Just try to spend a little more time with my family, just a little bit more than I did this week. All right, we appreciate that, Tito. But Princess said her
But
goals are
so
the same. What are your goals, investor?
yeah, with DoorDash, pretty much this week here, I try to make anywhere between that 100 to 130 a day. Um, and I'll stay out there until I hit that goal every day.
Yep.
And that'll probably be pretty much that'll probably take me to the rest of the month, and then that first, like I said, that first through the eighth, we'll move that goal up higher. But yeah, that $100 to 130.
Well, guys, this is how we end this show. We're going to let Investor take us out because nobody can take you out better than Investor.
And thank you, everybody taking the time to visit us. And as always, please be safe out there and keep getting this money. We out,
Guys,
guys.
thank
Until
you
next
very
week.
much. We'll see you guys again next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check us out. We have lives 8 a.m. till whenever, Monday through Friday. And check out our content, see our videos, see if that can help you guys. Everyone have a great night.
Thank you.